Welcome back to Specs. I'm your host, India, and I'll be giving you another great review. This week, it is still continuing Women's Month, so I decided to choose a local author. Her name is Danielle Porcher. She currently resides in Atlanta right now, but she is originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. The name of her book is called I Choose to SOAR. It's a poetry guide to somehow, some way, with some effort, overcome all risks. Stay tuned. Miss Danielle, like I said before, is originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. It wasn't until 2006 that she decided to move to Atlanta to pursue education in the Cobb County school system. But on her off time, she would pursue music as well. She was a background singer. She did musicals. She helped write different songs with different artists. And she also started writing poetry. I personally got to meet this young woman last year in April during her event called Sip and Paint and Heal. She brought poets from all across Atlanta to recite their poems while the guests would take instructions from this painter to do a portrait of a dove, which is her symbol, while sipping on wine. The purpose of her poetry guide was to inspire women to look inside themselves, to discover who they are, realize it's a continuous process, and we're accountable for our present life. So she broke the book down into 4 parts, tackling different issues like self-reflection, truth, your friends and family that you keep around you, and just being. So at the end of each chapter, she will give you a space where you can write down your thoughts, where she'll help you start off a sentence and you'll have to finish it depending on what the chapter was. Like for reflection, that one was more so about what you wanted to do, how you figured you were going to get there, and then what affirmations will you tell yourself to help you get through the process. She calls them action statements. At the end of her book, she does have examples that you can use for yourself to use as action statements, but they're the same way as affirmations, as in I am beautiful, I can, stuff like that. Everybody saw Girls Trip, I am powerful, whatever.
I am beautiful.
Thanks, Regina Hall. Chapter 1, this one specifically focused on what your part and your accountability is for whatever situation you're in. So not giving no faults to anybody else around, but just strictly off of the choices and decisions that you made to allow certain things to happen to you, or for you to be wherever you feel like you are that you don't want to be. Some of her poems touched on insecurities, asking questions about who do you belong to, and do you even know? And once you've known, how has it served you? That can get a little religious or not, depending on your answers. She also says, another quote that I liked is that life doesn't always happen to you, it's happening with you as well. I am in the process of trying to be accountable for my actions, of not really giving any blame to anybody else. And then for chapter 2, and this list of poems that she has in chapter 2 is all about truth. About when you talk to yourself, are you really being honest with yourself? Are you keeping up a lie that you have always kept just so you can feel better about yourself? Because in the end, what she also touches on, that the truth will always come out. So it's just about like tackling it head on, just so you can be able to really truly heal and know that that's the best power that you can have. Once you own your truth, nobody can throw anything into your face at all. She also touches on that we know that when it's something that we're really thinking about doing, or a change we want to make within ourselves, fear always seems to creep in and trick us in our mind to make us believe that either it's not possible or it takes away your motivation. So that's why she has the written guide for the affirmations, is so when you feel yourself getting to a certain place where fear is starting to creep in and insecurities are starting to butt its head, that you have these words that you can say to help you mentally just get through it and block it out. Because it's going to happen. Nobody is always happy. Nobody is always in a great place either. We're going to have moments where we feel lost, or we might feel like We don't know why there's a lot of turmoil going on around us at the moment. Always see it as a moment for growth and a lesson to be learned. She does propose reinvention. Reinvent yourself. Just because everybody knows you for doing this one thing doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Just because you're used to doing something doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to be doing. But just know that you can always reinvent yourselves. The ones that love you and know you, they're gonna ride with you. Obviously, there's gonna be a few skeptics, but push it away. They don't matter. With her book, she does help you feel better and more confident about just making changes. How else are you gonna grow if you keep doing the same thing? Now, for you people that are very complacent in your lives, she also had a nice poem about that as well. Because there is a group of us that are very complacent and happy at where, not necessarily happy, but don't really want to put in the effort to change what they are. Those are the it is what it is kind of people. And this book can help you as well if you are willing to want to change, if there is something greater that you know that you can be. But that was chapter 2. And on to chapter 3. This one was very great because it was about the company you keep. Now this is touching on the friends that you have, the so-called friends, the real friends, and also family members, because family members can also weigh you down. Pay attention to the friends that you have and see how they serve you. What is it that y'all normally do? If you know you have friends that only come around when there's a function, only come around when you trying to drink or smoke or party, but whenever it's going down to like being able to support you during your like your business ventures or your thoughts of just thinking about you want to do, the ones that kind of get a little quiet. Basically, she is saying in this chapter that it is okay to love people from a distance. It's okay to know that you'll meet a lot of people through your journey, but very few will last in the end with you, and that is perfectly fine. And it doesn't mean that the people that you left behind are malicious. All it means is that y'all served your purpose with each other. And that part 4 is the art of being. Just being yourself. She encourages you after you have looked at yourself to see what part you are, which was chapter 1, and owned up to your truths, which was chapter 2. Also made an observation of the people that you keep around yourself and move accordingly, which was 3. And 4 is just to stay true to yourself throughout the whole endeavor. Be you regardless of what's going on. What she does say is rifts, meaning turmoil or obstacles, is continuous in life. It will always happen, but always stay true to yourself through it all. If you know that you usually lash out when things don't go your way or someone has come to you in a disrespectful manner, this time stay true to who you are. You don't have to dumb yourself down just to defend yourself. So just knowing that you're trying is worthwhile. Just attempt to overcome. That's really what being is. Attempt to just keep going through your life even though the obstacles will still come, but there's going to always be something that you need to handle. There's going to always be something that's uncomfortable, and there will be little phases in your life where you'll be lost, which comes and goes for everybody. It's a cycle. This is all through the words of poetry, so your own interpretation will be what you get from it, which I liked. She kind of gave the ownership on the reader. This is a guide to help you come up with your own plan to overcome your own situations at the moment. Throughout this whole book of how Miss Donnell wants us to get to who we are, to self-discovery, because that's basically what it's about. It's specifically to women. I apologize for the men, but I believe that men can benefit from this as well. So if any men feel like they would like to buy this book, I believe you should do it, because it's all just interactive within yourself and you writing your own affirmations about where you want to be and how you're going to get there and what tools are you going to use when it looks rough at the moment. So what are some of your outlandish goals that you have always thought of for yourself? Has it either transformed into something else, or have you put it out to the side because it just didn't seem like it was going to work out? If so, you might want to read this book, because everything is possible. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Whatever it is you want to do, as long as you start at some point to write down your goals and how you're going to get there, and tools to help you from when you feel unfocused, this might be the book for you. I choose to soar, okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please support our Black authors, especially our Black women authors. It is still March, so we are still celebrating Women's Month, and for today we are celebrating Miss Danelle Porcher. So thank you so much for watching.